click that button, and there you go. You guys are all caught live. You can make noise, you can say hello to your friends, you can do whatever you want to do. And I'm going to share a little music. So we did a thing on the ragtime progression. I don't know how long it's been, maybe a year ago. You know, now that we're in COVID year 3, it could have been 2 years ago. I'm losing track. And it's a really sweet progression from the late 1800s into the 1920s or so. And a lot of songs that are very familiar, 5'2". Alice's Restaurant. You could say anything that you want at Alice's Restaurant. Uses that progression. So anyway, lots of songs. So we have a handful of them in our repertoire, in our songbook. So I thought, well, let's trot that out. Let's do a little ragtime. And if you look at the what I put up on the screen there, and yes, I can make my picture a little bit bigger. Yes, I can. There you go. There you go. There's Tiny Bob. There's Tiny Bob moving. There, I caught him now. There we go. I think that's as big as I get. Anyway, if you look up on the screen there, the progression is typically a C, then an E, then an A, then a D, then a G, with the C being the major chord and the other ones being the sevens. And so that's C, that's your 1, D, E, that's your 3, so it's a 1, 3, A is your 6, E, F, G, A is your 6, 1, 3, 6, D is the 2, 1, 3, 6, 2, and G is the 5. So it's a 1, 3, 6, 2, 5 progression. And it's typically, maybe more often than not, 4 beats of C, 4 beats of E7, 8 beats of A7, 4 beats of D7, any D7 you want. Here we have Island D7. You're going to see me playing a barred D7, though, on all of these songs, for reasons that I will reveal momentarily that you have heard many times before. And then 4 beats of G7, and then back to the C. But as you can see with this song, it cuts all that in half. So it goes 2 beats, 2 beats, 4 beats, 2 beats, 2 beats, 4 beats. Which is also a fairly common progression, common thing to do with this progression, is to make it a little bit quicker syncopation. We're going to take a little bit of time with this first song, and then there's going to be a lot of repetition with the next 4 songs, with the chords and the strum patterns and things that you might think about doing with the song and kind of embellish it a little bit here and there. So hang in there as we kind of go through this. But that's, the 2 slashes is just trying to get you to hit it twice on the C. And then I like down, up, down on the E7, so you got down, 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 up, down. And then for most of these older, old-timey songs, I really like down, up, down, up, down. Down, up, down, up, down. Down, 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 up, down. And that's the progression. You can certainly, instead of down, up, down, for the 4 beats, you can do down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. You could just do downs. You could do. No reason you can't do that. Or if you really are wedded to the island strum, you could do down, down, up, down. But I like that down, up, down, up, up, down. It gives your body a little movement, a little sway. It gives your instrument a little sway. It gives the melody a little bit of a sway. So that's how that first part starts, you know, and then it just repeats. And the reason I like the D7 barred, of course, is because I can start it on the first fret and slide in. And you can bounce your fingers up and down on it, do a little pump strumming, which is hard to do with the Island D7. You can slide in on it from the first fret, but not quite the same as that. And then the other thing that I introduced a few weeks ago that I told you I was seeing Sarah Maisel do on a program was she was coming in with her outer two fingers of her G7 on that, what you would normally have as your third string and your first string on your second fret. She was coming in with those on the first fret and then plopping her index finger down. So she was sliding in on her G7. So I've been having some fun doing that. I think it works better when the G7 has 4 beats. I don't know why that is. And you know, of course, in our latest renditions, circa 2019 and onwards, when we have 2 beats, we only have a chord and a dot. This is an older chord chart, and so this has a chord and 2 dots equaling 2 beats and a chord and 3 dots, meaning the 4 beats. So sorry about the confusion that I like to create in these sessions. So the first verse is, if you ever see me with a smile on my face, got an ukulele in my hand. I may be playing all by myself. Now, A7, you could see when we hit some songs where A7 is played with 8 beats. That's a lot of A7. So I've been experimenting with doing this A7 add 5, where you put your finger right underneath your index finger. And so you've got open, 1, 1, open. And we play that chord, A7 add 5, and that's you're adding an F note. So A, B, C, D, A, plus 1 is B, C, D, E, F, add 5. A7 plus 5 is A7 plus F. And we play that, Miss a Saturday dance. Thought I'd been at the stove. A7 add 5. I think that's the only other song where we play that chord. Don't get around much anymore. So, anyway, that's your A7, and you can play around with that. Maybe playing all by myself or in a ukulele band. Now play the music of a ragtime band. Yes, in a little from hula hula land. If you ever see me with a smile on my face, got an ukulele in my hand. The instrumental is all the same, so you can just kind of play around with it. Adding 5. Ooh. Second verse is laid out the same as the first. Third verse, second instrumental, I think is exactly the same as the first instrumental. And then the third verse is all the same until you get to the last line. And you slow down to, if you ever see me with a smile on my face, got an ukulele in my Oh, I see. I did 4 beats. Got an ukulele in my hand. Every one of these songs today is in the key of C. And this might sound familiar to you, but we're going to end each song. Instead of the ending you see there, C, G, 7, C, which you would love because we can all do that. But we need practice on another ending, and so we're going to do and let's switch to the OUJ action cam. Where are you guys at here? I know you're up there somewhere. And so there you are, just kind of minding your own business. And you see that D7 coming up, G7 coming up, and C. And you hit that last C, and then you go to your second string. You see my thumb on the second string, and it's open on your second string. 1, 2, 3, all on the second string, open, 1, 2, 3, open on your first string, 2, and then strum your C again. So it's strum a C, open second, 1, 2, bum, 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 strum, strum, oh, 1, 2, 3, oh, 1, strum, 3, oh, 2, strum, sorry. Strum, oh, 1, 2, 3, oh, 2, strum. Let me swing my fingers around a little bit. Strum, oh, 1, 2, 3, oh, 2, strum. So eventually, if you practice this a little bit, you get a little bit quicker. And every one of these songs, I'll warn you ahead of time, but we are going to end with that no matter what other ending there exists on these songs, okay? So let's do that last line. 2, 3, 4. If you ever see me with a smile on my face, got an ukulele in my hand. Nailed it. Oh, you guys are so good. So, we'll fool around with that. You can play around with that in the privacy of your own home. You won't disturb anybody. It's all good. I know, somewhere up here. Somewhere up here. There you are. Thank you. Back to the OUJ regular cam. So let's just play through this. We just do it nice and slow. Something like that. Unless there's some questions. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you ever see me with a smile on my face, got an ukulele in my hand, I may be playing all by myself or in an ukulele band. Now I play the music of a ragtime band, yes, and a little from hula land. If you ever see me with a smile on my face, got an ukulele in my hand. Slid both of those. Adding a 5. Now I love that old mandolin music. and the auto harp is grand. But give me the sound of a ukulele on Hawaiian sand. Now I play the guitar, I got a banjo hand, but me and my uke, we understand that if you ever see me with a smile on my face, got an ukulele in my hand. Take it away. Play the guitar, got a banjo hand, but me and my uke, we understand that if you ever see me with a smile on my face, got an ukulele in my hand. Slow it down. If you ever see me with a smile on my face, got an ukulele in my hand. Oh man, that was stunning. Lori's here. That's good to know. Who else snuck in? How did you do, Pamela? Did you nail the landing? Yes, you. Is there more than one Pamela here? I think there's only one Pamela.
I'm so used to not talking. Yeah, I nailed it.
All right, excellent. Velma's here. Good. Susan, great to see you. Nice to have you with us, Karen. And so that's kind of a fun ending. And like I said, if you came in late, we're going to do that same ending on every song regardless. So if you have questions about it, you want me to go over it slowly, go over it again, whatever, let me know. These sessions are designed to be chatty, although the chatty one is usually me. So if you got questions, it's supposed to be like we're sitting in our living room, like we did in the old days, sitting around with ukuleles and just playing songs and saying, well, what the heck did you do there? And I said, well, this is what I did. And then you could kind of lean over and show somebody. But I don't know. Maybe that will happen again someday. Let's look at song number 2. Which is going to look a lot like song number 1, except this starts out with 4 beats, 4 beats, 8 beats instead of 2 beats, 2 beats. So this should look familiar. And then it's got this kind of fun G augmented thing. So instead of same start, exact same start, C, E7, A7, D7, G7, and C. And then you could play another 4 beats of C. You could just stop at C. But they've got this little embellishment, which is a G and G augmented. And G augmented, maybe I'll switch to the action cam. The OUJ action cam is going to get a lot of work out today. Here we go. So the G, maybe I could make this picture in a size where you could see me. How about that? Let's do that. So you're playing your G, and you can do a few different things. You can squish your index finger over onto that 3rd fret, like that. And this is a strategy thing, and you have to know your strategy before you try to play the chord, or you'll be staring at G augmented and never actually play it. And you could, of course, just play 4 beats of G there. But it's kind of a fun chord. So you can do that. You can push your index finger over. You could switch. It is actually a D minor shape. So you could take all of your fingers and switch. It's not all of your fingers. Let me think that through. Yeah, it's just your index and your middle. You could switch into a D minor shape. And if that your mind doesn't wrap itself around that concept, You could go from G to the D minor shape. Lift up all your fingers. But I was saying you keep your ring finger down and you have your G and you just switch. That would be your ukastenic moment. Somebody has a question?
Yeah, I usually just push my pointer finger down.
Yeah, that's where we started. That was the first part of the conversation. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. Then the other way, the way that I do it is I sneak my pinky up there. I keep all my G in place. My pinky's kind of useless anyway, might as well put it to use. So the pinky blocks the index finger, so you don't have to worry about removing the index finger, making any noise, and it takes place of the index finger on the third string. And so that's another thing. And so it's just a practice. If you like the chord combo and what it does in this song, then you want to practice one of those strategies.
Bob, isn't that E minor also?
That is almost E minor, except two of your fingers are on the third fret and there are no fingers on the fourth fret. With your E minor, your pinky would be stretched out. That's your E minor. This is your Og.
I see.
Yeah. So then the way we play that, 4 beats would be, you would put down your pinky or make your move after you're down, up, down, after the second down. I like to stop as soon as I strum it once. It's really dramatic. But that's totally up to you. And then there would be a rest in there. And that's if you're doing down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. I put my pinky down on the up, or change to the augmented on the up, and I stop right there. So that's kind of fun. What else? I think the other big change, let's go back to the regular cam. Back to OUJ regular cam. 5'2", so 4 beats, eyes of blue. Oh, what those 5 feet can do. I don't know if you can hear me when I add the 5. But I just add it for a beat or two and then pull it back off again. Has anybody seen my gal? Turned up nose, turned down hose, flapper, yes sir, one of those. Has anybody seen my gal? If you run into, I might do down strums on that second section. Run into a 5'2", covered with fur, diamond rings, all those things. Bet your life it isn't her. So you have 2 G7 single strums. Bet your life it isn't her. And then you're right back to the regular progression. Could she love? Could she woo? Could she? Could she? Could she coo? Has anybody seen my gal? So the big change here, you get the 4 beats with all the chords in the instrumental. The third line in that central instrumental where you start with an E7. Add 5. the G7s come much quicker than they do in the verse. One, rest, rest. One, rest, one, rest. Something like that. So let's do that third line in the instrumental. 2, 3, nice and slow. A7. Slide that D7. Slide it again. One, rest, one, rest. Ow! Next verse, same as the first. Next section, shaded section, if you run into, same as the first shaded section. The last section that's not shaded, could she love, could she woo, could she coo? Has anybody seen my... So now you repeat 3 times. Has anybody seen my... Has anybody seen my gal? Then we go out with the same progression. E7, A7, D7, G7, C. And then nice and slow. And guess what happens at the end here? We do the new ending. So we do not do the G7 and C, although if you like that ending, you're in the privacy of your own home, so you can end this any way you want to. So that ending is D7, G7, C. After the down, that's your first down, open, 1, 2, 3, open, 2, strum. Hot. Ready to play it? Classic. This is part of the OUJ Classics collection, by the way. The Classics, we should call it the Classics series. This is part of the OUJ Classics series. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. First test. 5'2", eyes of blue. Oh, what those 5 feet can do. Has anybody seen my gal? Turned up nose, turned down hose, flapper, yes sir, one of those. Has anybody seen my gal? Now if you run into a 5'2", covered with fur, diamond rings and all those things, bet your life it isn't her. But could she love? Could she woo? Could she coo? Has anybody seen my gal? Add 5. E7, I said 5'2", eyes of blue. Oh, what those 5 feet can do. Has anybody seen my gal? Turned up nose, turned down hose, flapper, yes sir, one of those. Has anybody seen my gal? Now if you run into a 5'2", covered with fur, diamond rings and all those things, bet your life it isn't her. But could she love? Could she woo? Could she coo? Has anybody seen my? Has anybody seen my? Has anybody seen my gal? Take it home. My wrist wigged out there. I don't know. You probably thought, what the heck is going on with his rhythm? Everything locked up there for a minute. I don't like it when that happens. It seems portentous to me, but it all came back. What the heck? How's everybody doing? Okay? We PPCC? We're just kind of goofing off on a Tuesday in July. It's not quite the same progression. We add another chord, F minor and F, and C major 7, and C7, like I said, and we add 7 new chords. That's exactly what I said. Let's see what's going on with this one. But it's, kind of the same genre. Early 1900s, 1928 maybe. You just do the G7 4 times just to set the mood. F minor, so of course, I like, let's go to the OUJ, Skycam. I like to come over the top. I like, the F minor, most people jump their fingers. They take their index and they jump up to the top. They move their middle down to that second string, first fret, and then they push their pinky out. And their ring finger is not involved. So it's kind of a tricky thing that is a real ukastenic challenge, one of the great ones in your early career as a ukulele rock star, is how do you do that F minor? Number one, I like just play C7. C sus4. So you're playing your F and you just drop your ring finger down on that first string, third fret, like you would play an F and a C. And forget about that top string and just never worry about it ever again. So that's one option. Sarah Maisel drops in a finger, and her middle finger is everything is so flexible. She just pushes that middle finger over. She kind of swivels the wrist and forearm and pushes that middle finger over to the top and throws her pinky down there at the bottom. So that's certainly one option. All of these, just like the G augmented, You have to have a strategy, because when you bump into F minor, it usually doesn't announce itself. There's usually not a note in the chord chart that says, hey, F minor is coming up. It's usually you're minding your own business, you're strumming along, everything's going fine, and then all of a sudden there's an F minor. So you have to have a strategy. So that's strategy one to me. I like throwing my thumb over the top. And then all of the same notes, but they come in a different order. And so it sounds a little bit different. Is this E minor shape, but coming off of your C, not coming off of your B. And not coming off of the second fret, but coming off of the third fret first string, and make that E minor shape. That's a B11, I think. And that's the same, all the same notes as your F minor. So you're playing an F. And of course, you go into this explanation, which is 47 minutes long, and it's only 2 beats. So for as far as I'm concerned, you could just play 4 beats of F. But everybody likes to play the song the way it's laid out and would like to at least do that with some degree of expertise. And so there's some different strategies for you right there. But you're playing along. That's one, or that's the C sus4, or a little bit higher tone with that B11. And then the Sarah Maisel one I can't do very well. Let me see if I can do it. Let's see. Where you just push your middle finger over. Yeah, that's not my best, because it makes my pinky harder to place as well. So anyway, there's some strategies there. Let's do this. Go to the regular cam. So you do, there's your 4 G7s. Four beats. And just like on the G-Og, I like to stop on the up on that G7. Down, up with the stop. You got to give a little, take a little, let your poor heart break a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. Stop. What happens if you just play F on that break a little? Let me give a little, take a little, let your poor heart break a little. I'm not sure anybody's going to know. I mean, the F minor certainly works better. Break a little, break a little. I'm not sure anybody's going to know if you play 4 beats of F there. Laugh a little, cry a little, before the clouds roll by a little. So the first 2 verses, or the first 4 lines, kind of repeat. 3 and 4 repeats 1 and 2. Your F and your F add 9 is just taking your F, the top finger, off of your F and keeping your index finger. So that's the reason I put it in brackets, is you can just do 8 beats of F, but I like to remove my finger every once in a while. And the C, that's supposed to be C major 7. C major 7 is in the diagram at the top, and for some reason that says C minor 7. But it's just switching back and forth between the first fret, or the third fret, and the second fret of your first string. And again, that's totally optional. As long as there's the 2 of us, got the world and all its a little bit of percussion. We've got on D7, each other's arm. Let's practice that a little bit. And when the world is through with us, we've got each other's arm. Ha! So that's good. Everything else kind of repeats. Long as there's the two of us. There, finally got the melody line. Okay. No need to send in those notes about me and my melodies. And then we get to the end. Win a little, lose a little, and always have the blues a little. Yeah, we're going to repeat again. That's the story of, that's the glory of. And then we repeat on that second last line. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. You thought I'd forget, didn't you? No way. We're doing that every song. Every song. Okay, who's got questions? One, two, three, four. You got to give a little, take a little, let your poor heart break a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. You got to laugh a little, cry a little, for the clouds roll by a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. As long as there's the two of us, got the world and all its charms. And when the world is through with us, we've got each other's arms. 3, 4. You got to win a little, lose a little, and always have the blues a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. As long as there's the two of us, got the world and all its charms. And when the world is through with us, we've got each other's arms. You got to win a little, lose a little, and always have the blues a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. What the heck? Everybody doing all right out there? The funny thing is, every time I stop share and then I share again, I just check and see if anybody else popped in. We're all the same tight little group. It's all good. Every time I stop sharing and then I share again, is that my little picture goes tiny again. and I have to resize it. But that's okay. This is only one minor blip in my life. That's okay. If this is my biggest problem in the world, then I'm having a great life. Okay, so, now, A flat, what? E minor, B7, what? So Jimmy Buffett takes the ragtime progression, and then he adds, he embellishes it. Throws in an interlude, and that interlude will do the down strum like we did on one of the other songs. So let's see. You're used to 2 beats. 2, 2, 4. But instead of going back to 2 on the D7, he keeps it at 4. 2, 3, 4. Now they make new movies, old black and white. This is just a little playthrough, just kind of we're fooling around to see if I see something that I should point out to you all. Happy endings where nobody fights. So if you find yourself that nostalgic rage, honey, jump right up and show your age. Because you're playing this to your own audience of dozens or scores or hundreds, you can embellish it anywhere you want. Show your age. I wish I had a pencil-thin mustache, the Basil Rathbone kind. So you see all that. Yeah, so we're getting to that A flat. Two-tone Ricky Ricardo jacket. This should all be familiar. Autograph picture of Andy Devine. Oh, I remember being buck-toothed and skinny, writing fan letters. So on our A flat, we don't play the top string, or if we do, we don't worry about any fingers touching it. We play this as a G, and if you move your G down 1 fret, that's your A flat. Yeah, really it is some other chord, because your A flat, you're supposed to have your thumb up here on that top string, or something. You're supposed to stretch up with your index and play your G with your other 3 fingers. We don't do that. So your strategy is, okay, it's a G. It's a G. I remember that guy saying something about it's a G, but on the 3rd fret. So your strategy is that you either go from, what are we playing right before the F, and remember that it's a G on the 3rd fret and just jump down there. Or play F, go straight to G, and move all your fingers on that first strum. And then it will sound like a slide, and you will sound really cool. So you would go. So what is that line? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th line, oh, I remember. 1, 2, 3, 4. I remember being buck-toothed and skinny, writing fan letters to Sky King and Penny. Wish I had a pencil-thin mustache, then I could do some mysteries too. I could solve some mysteries too. In a later verse, I could do some cruising too, and I always get the 2 verses confused. So, then that next section, oh, it's bandstand, unshaded. Oh, it's bandstand, and that's where we're just going to do down strums. Bandstand, Disneyland, growing up fast. Drink it on a fake ID. E minor, Rhymer of the Jungle is B7. Just take that E minor shape and just move it all up 1 string. Jungle, move it back down was everyone's. Move it back up, Moana. But only jazz musicians were smoking marijuana. That's the embellishment part. Oh, yeah, I wish I had a pencil-thin mustache, then I could solve some mysteries too. So, second half of the song is the same as the first half. So it's just that what to do about that A flat. I think that's the tricky part, going from F to A flat. See how cool that sounds when you do the G first and you slide in. Sky King and Penny. Then we get to the very end, yeah. If I only, second to last line, if I only had a pencil thin mustache, then I could do some cruising too. Yeah, brill, cream, a little dab will do ya. I could do some cruising too. Ha! Questions on this one? You should be hot, hot, hot with your ragtime progression when this is all over. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Now they make new movies in old black and white with happy endings where nobody fights. So if you find yourself in that nostalgic rage, honey, jump right up and show your age. I wish I had a pencil-thin mustache, the Basil Rathbone kind, a two-tone Ricky Ricardo jacket, an autographed picture of Andy Devine. Oh, I remember being buck-toothed and skinny, writing fan letters to Sky King and Penny. I wish I had a pencil-thin mustache, then I could solve some mysteries too. Oh, it's bandstand Disneyland, growing up fast, drinking on a fake ID. Rama of the jungle was everyone's Moana, but only jazz musicians were smoking marijuana. Yeah, I wish I had a pencil-thin mustache, then I could solve some mysteries too. Adding 5. But then it's flat top, sock hop, playing in a band, strumming on the living room floor. So, send you off to college to gain a little knowledge, but all you wanna do is learn how to score. Yeah, but now I'm getting old, don't wear underwear, don't go to church, don't cut my hair, but I can go to movies and see it all there, just the way that it used to be. I wish I had a pencil-thin mustache, the Basil Rathbone kind, a two-tone Ricky Ricardo jacket, an autographed picture of Andy Devine. I could be anyone I wanted to be, either Sway Vera Flynn or the Sheik of Araby. If I only had a pencil-thin mustache, then I could do some cruising too. Yeah, brill, cream, little dabble do ya. I could do some cruising too. We have almost made it entirely through the ragtime session. I'm not sure the San Francisco Bay Blues is ragtime at all, but so what? So what? It's probably blues is what it is. But there's some cool stuff on this, so I thought I'd throw it in. Oh, and all of a sudden a down, down, up, down, up, down. So the chords aren't too difficult. They look awfully familiar. Play any D7 you want. But there's just a couple of tricky bits especially on that second line in the intro. So C, F, C, C7, F for 8 beats. C and C7, F for 8 beats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2. So you're doing 2 beats on C. I'm on the second line of the intro. In the middle, where all those C and greater than or greater than signs, C greater than, C major 7 greater than, C7 greater than. So it's C, 1, 2, 3, and A7. And you're just walking down your first string from your 3rd fret down to your, so you're C, C major 7, A7, and then jumping up to your C7, sorry, and then jumping up to your A7. So let's play that a couple times. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, A7. 1, 2, 1, 2, A7. 1, 2, 1, 2. So let's do that. Let's call it 3, 2, 1. 3, 3, 3, 2, 1, A7. Okay. Now you get to like the 6th line, where if she ever comes back to stay in verse 1, if she ever comes back to stay, it's going to 1, 2, and then it goes immediately to 2, 1, A7. That's the only time that tricky little progression changes and doesn't do an extra beat of C there. It goes straight to the C major 7, C7, A. And that's about it. I think that's about it. I'm going to almost get you out of here on time, except for the fact that we're late. Eight lines from the top, from the bottom. Think I'll catch me a freight time. Think I'll catch me a freight train, 'cause I'm feeling blue. 4 lines from the bottom, if she ever comes back to stay. If she ever comes back to stay, it's gonna be another brand new day. 2nd line from the bottom. Walking with my baby down by the San Francisco Bay. Hey, 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 hey. Same progression every time, except for that one exception. I don't know why they did that. Walking with my baby down by the San Francisco Bay. And guess how we finish? Okay, 1, 2. Well, I should stop for questions. Questions. 1, 2. Oh, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down. 1, 2, 3, 4. I really like this song. From my baby, let me by the San Francisco Bay. The ocean liner's gone so far away. Didn't mean to treat her so bad. She was the best girl I ever had. Said goodbye, she liked to make me cry. Wanna lay down and die. Haven't got a nickel ain't got a lousy dime. She don't come back, think I'm gonna lose my mind. If she ever comes back to stay, it's gonna be another brand new day. Walking with my baby down by the San Francisco Bay. It's good. Do 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 do. Get out your kazoo. Root do 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 do. When we start the next section, it starts 2 beats, 2 beats. Sitting down looking from my back door, wondering which way to go. Woman I'm so crazy about, she don't love me no more. Think I'll catch me a freight train, 'cause I'm feeling blue. Ride all the way to the end of the line, thinking only of you. Meanwhile, living in the city, just about to go insane. Thought I heard my baby Lord, the way she used to call my name. If she ever comes back to stay, it's gonna be another brand new day. Walking with my baby down by the San Francisco Bay. Walking with my baby down by the San Francisco Bay. Yeah, walking with my baby down by the San Francisco Bay. The ragtime progression session will come to a close as soon as anybody stops asking me questions. Well, that was kind of fun. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
It was a terrific lesson, Bob.
Well,
Great.
fabulous.
Really good to go
Great to
over
hear.
and over that pattern, you know.
Yep. Practice,
It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
practice makes
Thank you,
perfect.
Bob.
You are also welcome. It was
Thank
good.
you. I'm gonna have to get that little flourish at the end because I came on late, but if you have it on something.
We're recording, and so if you look at the recording when I post it later today, and I'll send it out to the mailing list. If you look at the recording, we go over it maybe in the first 5 minutes. Just fast forward on the recording, and I go over it slowly with a close up of my fingers and talk through it and all that. So, yeah,
Okay, thank you.
you
Sounds
bet.
good.
Great to have you with us.
Thanks,
Everybody. Thanks for hanging in there.
Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Happy
Thank you, Bob, very much.
You're
Thank
so
you.
welcome.
Do these again sometime.
Ciao bella, buongiorno.
Everybody, same message to you. Have a good week or whatever. Take care. You too, Bob.
Thanks, Jane.